Good morning, everyone. Well, before we talk about rain chances, we've got to talk about temperatures because we're looking at a couple of hot days in Nebraska. Today, everybody is at least going to be in the 90s, no more 80s to be found. Notice cooler to the east and a warmer as you go to the west, low 90s transitioning into the upper 90s and perhaps a couple spots reaching 100 degrees. I do think the most likely place that's going to occur is McCook. Keep in mind, though, as is usually the case, a little bit more humidity in the east, less to the west, so you can probably add already a couple of degrees to those temperatures in eastern Nebraska, and that's really what it's going to be feeling like. Not much wind to be found anywhere in the state today, so don't count on a breeze helping you out. The humidity is going to continue to climb tonight, and you can see that by looking at the low temperatures, particularly in eastern Nebraska, only cooling down into the upper 60s, maybe some spots the low 70s. You can see the lower humidity to the west, with some spots cooling down to the mid 60s, but it looks like no cooler than that. And then tomorrow, we actually have a warm front that's going to be pushing into the state, so look at the damage tomorrow. Now, not that big of a difference in eastern Nebraska, though I think in general we are going to be a few degrees warmer and more humid, so keep that in mind as well. But we've got to talk about what's going on in the western part of the state, where you will get on the warm side of that warm front. And look at that, 105 in North Platte, 106 in McCook, 101 in Mullen. Just some rough temperatures, obviously well above normal and getting close to record territory at this point. Now, if you're looking for some good news, I will say that the winds are going to pick back up for tomorrow. We are looking at breezy conditions across the state with gusts 20 to 25 miles per hour. All right, so that's the temperature story. Now let's talk about rain chances. Now, I do have to mention 8 a.m. this morning for the morning commute, the smallest of chances for a stray shower just about anywhere in the state, but there is not much. So it is very likely that it's going to be a dry morning commute, but I do have to mention the chance that maybe you could encounter a stray shower. I do think that the chance for these little stray showers is just for the early and mid-morning hours. I think anything that's still out there is going to be gone by 11 a.m. However, once we get to the late afternoon, we are going to see some new activity fire up in the western half of the state. I do think the eastern half of the state is staying dry this afternoon, this evening, but I do have to mention the chance coming back for western Nebraska. Here we are at 5 o'clock, some new activity starting to fire up, a peak, but obviously not much. At 8 o'clock, we are definitely talking about isolated showers and storms. A lot of folks missing out, but do have to mention the chance west of Kearney. Again, the best chance early this evening, but already by 11 o'clock, those isolated showers and weak storms fizzling out. So let's jump ahead to the morning commute tomorrow. And a similar story to today, there are going to be some showers around, but not a lot. It does look like a little bit more than what we're going to see this morning. Notice the opportunities there in eastern Nebraska as well, so I'm going to mention the chance for some light showers, but nothing big, so nothing that'll slow you down for the morning commute, but I do need to mention the chance in the early morning hours. Again, it looks like this early mid-morning activity is going to fizzle out, but we're going to see a redevelopment in the afternoon, and I do think we're going to see more activity tomorrow because we actually have a front lifting over us. That means we're talking about scattered showers and storms coming back. Again, starting in the western part of the state, about 3 o'clock or so. I do think we're probably going to see the peak of the activity in the late afternoon and early evening hours. There's 5 o'clock, there's 7 o'clock, and I'm going to stop it at 7 o'clock because there's a lot of uncertainty in the models after 7 o'clock. We do think this activity that's going to fire up in the western and central part of the state is going to push to the east, but there's uncertainty right now in how strong it's still going to be as it moves to the east. The majority of models are weakening the activity as we get later into the evening as it pushes east, but some are trying to keep the intensity a little bit stronger. So I do have to mention the chance for a couple of severe storms late afternoon and early evening hours tomorrow, but the question is how far will that severe threat spread to the east? So look for an update tomorrow morning.